Hello everybody, welcome to this channel. I'm Payman Asari. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about how to handle missing data in RapidMiner. You might want to remove a row which contains missing value, or you may want to remove the column which contains a missing value. Another technique to handle missing data is to replace missing value using some statistics like average in the case of numerical feature and mode in the case of categorical feature. Another technique is to replace missing values using some model like k-nearest neighbor or regression or decision tree. All of them will be covered in this lesson. Let's first bring the data into the process panel simply by dragging the data and dropping into the process panel. And first, let's take a look at the data that we have. As you can see, there are a lot of missing value in this data, which has been declared by question mark. Some rows, like the first one, has a lot of missing values. Some column, like year experience, has a lot of missing value. Other columns and rows has few missing values. What I'm going to do is to first remove those rows where majority of the data is missing. Next, I'm going to remove those columns that has a lot of missing value, and then replace missing value in some numerical column by some statistics. And in this column, where the data is categorical, replace missing value using some model like k-nearest neighbors. Let's first start with removing rows which the majority of the data is missing, like the first row. We come back to the design part, and I need to use the operator called filter examples with missing values. I connect two operators together, and I need to configure this operator. There are different filter methods, and we can use any one of them in different situations. But in this case, I'm gonna use maximum number of missing value. And to choose maximum number of missing, I'm using 4 as a number that we need, because it will remove those columns which has more than 4 missing values. If I connect this one and run it again, then we can see the first row is removed. Next, I'm going to remove this column because the majority of the data is missing. If I take a look at the statistics, it has 14 missing value out of 19 rows that we have. In order to remove this column, I'm going to use a operator called filter attribute with missing values. And I need to connect this to operator and configure this one. And to choose filter method, there are different options that we have, but in this case, I'm going to choose maximum relative number missing, and I'm gonna tell the RapidMiner if the more than 50% of the data of a column is missing, remove that column. And if we look at the result, we see that that year's experience has been removed. Now I'm going to replace missing value of numerical column age and numerical column income. In order to do that, I'm using an operator called replace missing value. I need to connect this operator and configure this replace missing value. Here we can choose different value for attribute filter type because we have only 2 attribute to replace. I use subset and I need to choose them. And in select attributes, I choose age and income and apply. And the next is to choose which statistical value we are going to use. We can choose maximum, minimum, average, 0, or the other value. Here I'm going to choose average. And if I run this, then we can see that the values of age and income column has no missing value any further. Now the only column that has missing value is group column, which is categorical. And in order to replace this missing value, I'm going to use some machine learning algorithm like k-nearest neighbor. In order to do that, I need to use an operator called impute missing values. And in order to impute missing values, I need to apply some model. If I double click on this one, then we will have a sub process. And here we need to call a model. Here I'm going to use k-nearest neighbor, KNN, and I need to configure this one. It's very simple. I just need to choose the right number for k. Here I use the default value 5, and the measure type I use the mixed measure, and mixed measure is mixed Euclidean distance. These are some topics about the KNN machine learning algorithm. Then I come back to configure impute missing values, and I'm using all in attribute filter type, even though we have only 1 column, but here I use all. And the next is to choose order. I'm going to use, there are different techniques, different options. I'm choosing the number of missing values and leave the rest as default. And if I run this, then we see that the group column has no missing value any further.